Check out my golf cart I bought me, or my mama bought me. It's a 2004 Easy Go. It's got I think it's either a 6 or an 8-inch lift kit on it. It's got some 22-inch tires on it, some 22 by 10 by 5 by 10 tires on it. So far they've been holding there. It's in pretty rough shape, but hell, I didn't give it $100 for it. And they ain't got no. It was an electric golf cart. Didn't have no motor. Somebody done robbed the motor off of it, and somebody done robbed the batteries off of it. Which is fine with me. I'm gonna put a gas engine in it anyway. Probably a 13.5 horsepower motor I got sitting in there, and I'm gonna make like a hunting buggy out of it. So it's already jacked up and got the knobbies on there. That's pretty good. You can already tell that'll go through the woods good. It's short, stocky. Hell yeah. But like I say, it's in kind of rough shape, but it's something I can work with. My mama's didn't look no better than this when I started on hers. It's got leaf springs in the back, leaf springs in the front. I don't like that about it. We're gonna have to put some shocks on it. Otherwise, it's gonna be a rough riding some gun. It's got weird leaf springs. It's got two that come up and start. It's got two leaf springs. One starts here and one starts here and runs up to the front, to the axle. And then on the rear, it's got normal leaf springs on it, you know, back there like that. And then, like I say, it's got the Spicer motor, or not motor, the Spicer rear end, the Dana Spicer, which is supposed to be pretty good. I don't know. But anyway, it's got a speaker system in it. I'll be doing away with all that shit. And it came with a windshield, which needs to be cleaned up big time. But I can clean it up. I'm pretty sure. I've seen videos on how they do it. So I'm gonna try to do that. And it came with a good top. Somebody painted it black because it used to be tan. Look under there, it's tan. It came with all the racks that you need. He gave me 2 extra sets of tires. Now these are regular golf cart tires, but 2 of them's knobbies and the rest of them is regular slicks, and all kind of other little shit in there. I don't even know what else all's in there. So I'm tickled. I'm tickled. Oh, I ride my mama's around all the time, so now I'm gonna have my own to fix up and do what I want to with. I'm probably gonna scratch hers up. Shit, I ain't worried about this one. I may put me a big old heavy plate of steel in front of it so I can mow down trees and shit as I go through the woods. I don't know. I got all kind of other tires and stuff here, but half of them ain't no good. And I got all kind of racks and stuff off other 4-wheelers, things like that. I'll come up with something, a lot of metal back here. I'll come up with something to do with it. Okay guys, it's about 9 o'clock at night. I'm fixing to quit and go back to the house. I thought I'd give you an update on my side-by-side that I'm building. Out of that old 3-wheeler. Let's see. I've got quite a bit done to it, but first off, let me just, in case any of you hadn't seen it, let me just show it to you here. Give you an idea of where we're at. Right now it's got a tilt bed on it, and I'm gonna do something right here. I'm gonna cut it and make this into a tailgate that lets down. So when you got it loaded with something and you pull up there and you want to dump, you can, because the way it is right now, that's fully dumped, and so it wouldn't dump everything if it was in there. I wanted to keep it watertight so I could use the bung here, but heck, I probably would never haul no water around, mostly dirt and shit. So I'm gonna put a tailgate here that'll drop down. That way, when you dump it, it'll dump, completely dump. All right, it swivels. It's it's a tilt bed. Okay, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it manual dump or power dump. I'm thinking about going power dump with like a scissor jack or something. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be easy or I ain't gonna have it. But you can see I just mainly used the back end out of a 3-wheeler with the motor, and then the rest of it I've just made around it. I gotta put wood or metal or something over this cage here. But I want to leave the bottom quarter of it open and just a cage, like, so it can get plenty of airflow to the motor. Cole, like I am going, if you're watching, brother, I am going to need a tire from you, most likely. So kind of look and see if you got one. I believe this is a let's see, let me get my light. That one over there holds air. It's this one on this side. Every morning I come in, it's nearly flat. Just like now, it's nearly flat. This is a 25 by 13 by 9. And you see I done tried to seal it, you know, it's 2-piece rim and all that shit. And I done tried to seal it and seal it and seal it, and it's leaking around the cracks in the tire, leaking around the rim. It's leaking everywhere. I mean, the tire looks good, a lot of tread left on it, but they're just so old. I don't know. I glued that other one over there too, it was the same way, but I got it to stop leaking. If I just had maybe if a big old can of Fix-A-Flat, it might fix it, but damn, that shit's expensive. So anyway, guys, let me let this down. Alright. Oh, and you see how I got the bars running right here? This bar running here all the way around. Alright, it's gonna come to right here, and then it's gonna go up way up high, and then it's gonna come over and then slant back down to the front somewhere. It's gonna be like a real side-by-side, like a gator or something, with a roll cage, and it's gonna have a top on it. And I'm gonna make it out of this bar here. And I've got my flooring in now. It's good and solid. I've got my aluminum dash in. Got my steering column going through it. Got my suspension on. I just done some real simple suspension because I ain't got hardly no shocks. I barely, you know, I barely had enough stuff to make this work, and I had to fabricate most of it. So we'll see how good it turns out. I had to run a double knuckle joint there for my steering, and I got to come up with me some boots to go over the things. It ain't power steering, but it ain't hard to turn. But I did make a boo-boo. I can put my rack and pinion upside down, so now every which way you turn it, it turns the opposite direction. So, but that ain't no big deal. I just got to flip it. I got to flip that one piece right there, flip it upside down, remount it. But she's looking good, guys, and my suspension works. I mean, I ain't got enough ass on me. Here, let me. It's gonna squeak a little bit, but yeah, it works. Gonna be sweet, guys. Gonna be sweet. Only thing I got that I'm not sure about yet is my front end here. Let me set you guys down. I hope you'll be able to see this. Maybe you can see what I'm trying to show you here. And Cole, if you're watching, maybe you can give me an idea, brother. All right. I got two options here. I'm going to use this front end right here. I'm just going to. You know, if ands and buts about it, I'm going to. The problem I don't know is, do I want to make it look? I can make it look two ways. I can make it look like a four-wheeler front end, or I can make it look like a golf cart front end. And I'm leaning toward the golf cart front end because I'm really into golf carts right now. And this is going to be a side-by-side. So, but look, if I mount it like this, let's see. If I mount it like that, that's going to make it look like a four-wheeler on the front end. And then I just have a long flat top going over the wheels there, and I could put like a big old cage rack or something up there. But I really don't want to do that. I'm probably going to do something like that on my golf cart out there that I bought. Alright. Other way I can do it is do it like this. And that makes it look like an Easy Go, because the Easy Go has a big black thing right, just like that right in the front. And then it's cut out here and there for the wheels to turn. And then you just the body just rolls right over like this, right to here, in which I can make me something roll right over there, and you never know it. It'll look good. And then I can put my headlights right here through the plastic, see, through these holes, and then it would look like a golf cart type thing or a real. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I hadn't made up my mind on that. But she's coming along good. I've done this in probably a week, but I spent most of my time down here doing it. I had to learn how to stick weld all over again. My damn wire welder, I ran out of wire. The flux core kind, like you get from Harbor Freight, so I had to go back to stick welding. And that's not near as easy when you welding on this thin shit. Some of this metal's thick, and some of it's thin. But she's gonna be a beast, man. She's gonna be a beast, and that thing's gonna weigh a ton. And I'm thinking about putting this big old thing right here on it. Ow. That damn bar right there, I bet it weighs at least 100 pounds. And it's solid as a rock. Now if I welded that on the very, very, very front of this thing, sticking out straight, like that flat, like a bumper, why, you could just run up and hit trees and knock them over as long as they wasn't too big, you know, because there's gonna be so much weight behind this thing, and like if you was in first or second gear, it's gonna be geared low. Why, you just plow right over anything. All right, guys, that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. I love to do shit like this. I've done shit like this my whole life. I can just about make anything out of anything. Guys, I clean my shop back up. About every couple of nights now I have to clean my shop up because I just can't work in all that mess. I'm getting low on metal too. Hell, I know it looks like I got a lot here, but it really ain't. Done used and used and used, and a lot of what this is made out of was an old trailer I had around back that used to have an old boat on it. And I hear some of the runners that's still left of it. I gotta save some of this metal from a damn golf cart though. It's got some places that need repair. Oh, look here. This is the motor. This is the motor right here, guys, that I'm gonna put on my golf cart out there. My mama's has a motor like this on it, a little 6 horsepower motor, and her golf cart runs good. This is a 13 horsepower motor, electric start. Got a starter key right here, starter right there. She cranks up and runs good. Loud, man, that thing's loud. So that's double the horsepower what that little motor's got. So that's probably what I'll put on my golf cart. That thing over there, that side by side, it's got a 200 big red, an AT6 200 big red 3-wheeler motor on it. So, but it needs a set of rings and a piston in it. I already know. I already had it tore down, and then I put it back together. So I know it's got to be worked on. But we'll crank and run fine. But it smokes like a freight train and spits oil out. So I know it's got to have a set of rings and stuff in it. But I figured I'd go ahead and make the side by side and then worry about rebuilding it later. But this is all the parts. I've been gathering up all the parts I got, Cole, to see what all might have and need. Some of this is lawnmower parts, and most of it's 4-wheeler, 3-wheeler, and motorcycle parts. Like shit, I don't know. Like right there. This is the rear end, the whole rear end, off of one of them little tiny Chinese 4-wheelers. I mean, little tiny ones, you know. All right, right there. Let's see. Right there's a few shocks and stuff, but I mean they're small, very small, and old, and you know, and then right there's an old 3-wheeler rear end down at the bottom. There's some clutches and I got a bunch of chains, shit like that. Just bits and pieces of stuff, man. I don't really know what all I got in here. And right here's a torque converter. But it's a Series 30 torque converter, and it's a used one Daddy got from somebody, so it probably ain't much count, but it might work for something. And right there I got a whole rear end off of an old 4-wheeler. It's got direct drive, you can see. But damn, it ain't wide enough really for nothing other than a 4-wheeler. I got another axle right there off something. Got them few tires right here. I got some other tires right there. I think you gave me those. Let me see what else around here. I got some other stuff back here. I really don't know what all I got, Cole. A lot of junk. Big old sprockets and jack shafts, and I don't know. That whole box right there, guys, underneath them 4 red boxes, that whole gray box is nothing but carburetors. They're old carburetors, most of them. There's a few new ones in there, not new, but decent carburetors. But most of them is old. I want you to look at the carburetors I got. We used to do carburetor work and shit like that on lawnmowers and 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers, and I've just gathered them up, man. I got wiring harnesses and CDI boxes and camshells and hell, you name it, I got it. And there's a Predator motor. That's that Predator motor I got from my friend the other day. Like I say, I tore it down. It had some rust in it. It was locked up. Just a little bit of water, like maybe a half a cup of water, had gotten down in the piston and sat there, and it locked the rings up on it. But I tore it all the way down, and I honed everything out and cleaned it up good. And so I think I'm gonna keep it. I'll use it for spare parts for Mama's motor. It's identical to hers, so on her golf cart. All right, guys. Fuck it, I'm tired. We can go to the house. I'm fixing to go to the house. I can't wait to get some of this shit going though, man. I love to ride. Been riding my four-wheeler some during the day, and been riding that four-wheeler's rough. And, Cole, one other thing I want to show you. You know, I told you, Mama had her a place that's fixed up down here for me and her to sit because she said I worked too hard and too long, and so she comes down here and makes me take a break and drink and sit and rest. So she had me to fix this up for her, a little table, a couple chairs, and a place for her to put her ashtray. I had to make all this shit. Those chairs, the bottoms of the chairs, the rollers, those are the chairs that had those nice plushy seats that's on her golf cart right now. That was like house chairs, you know, some nice ones, plushy ones. So she had me to put those on the golf cart because they were so damn comfortable. So then she took those rollers and brought them down here, and she said, okay, she said, take them old seats off them old mobility chairs around back. See, that's a mobility chair off them things, you know, where your daddy used to work. So they sat pretty damn good too. So she had me to take those off and rig them up on them damn roll around things so we have a place to sit and be comfortable. My mama's something else, guys. You gotta love her. Alright, later. It's too small, one of them little Chinese ones. Man, that thing's rough. It's a good workhorse to use around here for pulling shit and hauling shit, but man, it's rough. One of these days, Cole, we'll get around to building one of them, what do you call it? The T-bucket roadster out of the wheelbarrows. You know, I done got basically, I done got the seats made. I took two wheelbarrows and put them together, you know, turned out great. Melted them together. Shit, it looks good. But damn, it makes such a good, I pull it behind my four-wheeler to haul shit off with. And it does so good for that, like a sled. It does so good for that. I hate to get rid of that one. I'm going to have to make us another one. And I run out of damn oxygen on my torch. All I got acetylene now, so I'm having to cut everything by hand now, which is rough. We don't got no damn plasma cutter. Wish we did. They cheap now, but I don't know if they're any good. Them cheap ones from Harbor Freight. I think you can get one for about $160, $180, but I just don't know nothing about them. Most of what I cut though is not real thick stuff. You know. And like I say, I got some old wheelchair motors back there. They're brand new. Got them from your daddy. Two great old big ones I'm up there in that box, and then I got two smaller ones, and then I got a whole bunch of riding equipment around back. You know, them Easy Go chairs or whatever. Got a whole bunch of them around back. That I don't know what's wrong with them. They won't run, but I know the motors is good on them. But you could take one of them big old wheelchair motors up there, man, with all the gear reductions and all in it. You could turn that into one hell of an ATV winch. Alright guys, I'm signing off. Y'all have a good one. Out.